uh, be reviewing The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. Now this is, it's what's known as a fix-up novel. So basically it was at one point just a series of unrelated short stories, or actually related short stories that just sort of had the same setting or theme. And then you take those stories and you kind of put them together into one thing and you get something like The Martian Chronicles. Now, Bradbury is my first favorite writer. Like, I was just getting into science fiction as a literary genre when I was in, fifth grade. Thanks to my fifth grade teacher, Mr. Chaplin, who introduced me to the late great Ray Bradbury. And yeah, and this was the first one that I'd ever read. It's also my first favorite book. There's a bunch more now, but this is also my first favorite book. And I have to say that Bradbury is an amazing author. He has a way with words that's just something, man. The stories in here, like I said, are about Mars, and some of them have actually seen adapted into comics. Topps Comics back in the old days, in the 90s. Ooh, old days, yikes. But anyway, Topps Comics had a collection of Ray Bradbury comics, and also EC Comics, who are best known probably for Mad Magazine, adapted a bunch of his short stories. Now the interesting thing about that is initially they didn't really have any permission to use Bradbury stories to adapt them, so they were all sort of unofficial. And somebody, I guess, showed Bradbury, hey look, check out this issue of Weird Science, is that not 0 Hour, in the comic obviously. And he wrote them a letter saying, hey look, I see our collaboration started, I like your comics, they're great. Just waiting on that paycheck, the royalty fees, hi, gotta get paid, son. And I mean, it worked out really well because for that time they had like the exclusive rights to Bradbury's short stories, which was absolutely amazing. And I want to say a couple of them were adapted both by EC and Topps. I know for sure Topps did, God, I have to go find the one now, or maybe it wasn't from the Martian Chronicles, maybe it was from the Illustrated Man. I don't know actually. But anyway, so Bradbury is basically just about Mars. Humans go to Mars, there's Martians there. Sometimes they get locked away in an insane asylum for claiming to be human. Sometimes they land on their hometown, or basically any town, USA, and they're killed by aliens masquerading as their dead loved ones. That one, by the way, is my favorite of the stories in this book. It's called, what is it called? Hold on, I had the book in my hands. I can check it out, can't I? What was it? The summer night, the third expedition. I believe it was the third expedition. Page 41. Third expedition, was this the one? Go for space, metal efficiency, go Mars! Beautiful, yeah, it was this one. The third expedition was my favorite, it was the creepiest. Because you spend this story wondering, why? Why does Mars look like every small town in the US? Why are these characters dead relatives there? What's going on? And then at the end when their faces melt off, and they wind up killing the Earthmen. That was absolutely terrifying for me, and I absolutely loved every second of it. Bradbury, again, is one of my favorite authors. And these stories, they have this sort of air of wonder to them almost, And that's something that he really had down pat. Like, a lot of people forget what it's like to be a child and to look at the world, with awe. But he never did. And his stories, not these, but, his stories reflect that he always kept in touch with that, and he always, through his entire life, remembered that feeling, I guess. Alright, so it's a good book. It's, again, Martian Chronicles by the late, great Ray Bradbury. He's one of my favorite writers. And this is one of my favorite books. Basically, this was my introduction into science fiction. I keep saying basically, why do I keep doing that? That's weird. Anyway, so this was my introduction to literary science fiction, and yeah, from there it was kind of like a match made in heaven. I fell in love with the entire genre, and I have since consumed damn near anything and everything science fiction that I could get my hands on. I like it because it's good. which there's a lot of trash. I mean, you find that in every genre, you know, and as a writer, I pay attention to things like that, I guess, because I do write. Not very good, but I do. But, yeah, anyways, what was I talking about? I think I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so, Ray Bradbury, Martian Chronicles. My favorite is The Third Expedition. It's a creepy one. Bradbury was really good at that. He's my first favorite writer. This is my first favorite book. You know, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed The Martian Chronicles. This is always going to be my first love. It's always going to be my first favorite book. And I just gotta say that it really opened the door for a lot of wild stories. I really love them. Maybe I'll review a couple of the others that I discovered after Bradbury. Anyways, folks, thank you all for tuning in. If you like my content, please feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, peace and love.